put that out for our viewers. This is what he said, and I'm quoting, "Right now in Kyiv, first responders are clearing the rubble of an ordinary residential building after a Russian strike. Another massive attack against our cities and communities. Killings again. Tragically, at least 8 people have already been confirmed dead. One of them is a child. My condolences to all their family members and loved ones. We expect a reaction from China to what is going on. China has repeatedly called for not expanding the war and for a ceasefire, yet this is not happening because of Russia. We expect a reaction from Hungary. The death of children should definitely stir far greater emotions than anything else. We expect a response from everyone in the world who has called for peace, but now more often stays silent rather than taking principled positions. And it is definitely time for new, tough sanctions against Russia for everything it is doing. All deadlines have already been broken. Dozens of opportunities for diplomacy ruined. Russia must feel accountable for every strike, for every day of this war. Eternal memory to all the victims of Russia." This is a very, very expansive tweet of the Ukrainian President, Akanksha. He is talking about another strike, talking about killings. 8 people who've lost their life, one of them a child.
Right. And on expected lines, these attacks continue unabated between Ukraine and Russia, Griha, because the U.S. President has made it amply clear ever since negotiations began, which for now are, of course, in a limbo. But we all know that even the U.S. President himself ruled out the possibility of a ceasefire, which only goes on to indicate that till a peace deal is not reached upon, these attacks will happen unabated. And they are happening on both ends. Just days ago, Russia had accused Ukraine of conducting a drone attack in one of their nuclear power plants in Kursk region. So there are attacks happening on both sides. In fact, just days ago, General Kellogg of the United States, who's one of the special envoys to Ukraine, met with the Ukrainian president. Remember, it was their Independence Day just days ago, which is when Zelensky declared that if peace has to arrive, then it has to arrive on their terms. It has to be a just form of peace on their Independence Day is what Zelensky's message was, which was directly alluding to the fact that they want no territorial concessions to be going in Russia's favor, and that we all know is going to be a bone of contention for Russia, as has already been highlighted by the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, who's gone on to, in fact, in turn, raise questions to the NATO that what is the guarantee that NATO will not arrive closer to Russia and not move or march eastwards. So these are critical sticking points which remain unaddressed, and Donald Trump doesn't seem to have had any kind of headway despite that much talked about Alaska summit. And for Zelensky to now place the onus on China and also take an indirect dig at the allies of Russia, which of course, as we all know, also happen to be India, at the time when SCO is all set to kick off, is a message, of course, in terms of timing, very critical, because remember, the SCO is all set to kick off. It's also a security conference of sorts to do with the security in the region, and that also is one which is meant to address unrest and conflict along with terrorism as well.
Okay.
So it is a message directly being sent to China, but India also is a country that Zelensky is perhaps alluding to, but India has always maintained that they want peace to prevail in Ukraine. Prime Minister Modi has already sent that message to the Russian president that it's not an era of war and the solution doesn't lie on the battlefield.
No ceasefire as yet, and this is what Zelensky is talking about, underlining. Akanksha, thank you so much for that perspective.